Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Encounter program sponsored by the Broome County Council of Churches. My name is Mark Kimpland. I'm the pastor at the Endwell United Methodist Church. It's great to be with you this morning. Today we have a special guest with us today, Carol Gallagher, who is not only a dear friend of mine, but a member of the Endwell United Methodist Church also. Carol, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I am so glad you're here. We've been planning this for several weeks.
Yes.
The topic of the show that we're going to be sharing is about Pride Month in Broome County and also New York State. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be the emphasis of what we're going to chat about. We're chatting just prior to the People of Blessings Interfaith Worship Service being held here in just a little bit here at the Endwell United Methodist Church. Mm-hmm. But it'd be great for our viewers. Can you give us a little bit of your background, your family background, your faith background? What brings you to this evening tonight as we gather together with brothers and sisters around the county?
Sure. Well, my faith journey began, I think, when I started breathing. I've always been a member of this church since I was a year old. Been here forever and ever. Never knew a day without faith, without Christ, without my own personal faith journey. Been in and out, as we all do as our life goes on. And in 2008, now mind you, I would consider myself a conservative Christian. I tended to take the Bible, the language of the Bible, literally, and I held to that. Mm-hmm. In 2008, my son came out. And it was probably the most devastating moment of my life. I handled it with no grace, no love really, just heartbreak. I was just devastated. And so I started reaching out to all my pastor friends, because I had a lot of them, and I was expecting to hear people say, "Oh, you poor thing, okay, this is how you handle." There's support groups, which there's PFLAG, which is wonderful, and I'm a member of PFLAG, and I expected all this love and support and all that stuff. You know, it's a terrible thing, hate the sin, love the sinner, and what I got was, when I would say, "My son is gay," they would say, "And?" What? And the lights started to come on, and a dear friend of mine who was the district superintendent of the Binghamton district at the time, Dave Maslin, I went to him, and he gave me this disc, a documentary called For the Bible Tells Me So. It changed my life in 94 minutes, or however many minutes there is. It woke me up. It put reason onto this very heated topic, this very difficult reality for some Christians, some faith-based people to accept. So I watched it, and the first thing, my son was home, and I ran up to his bedroom, and I threw my arms around him, and I cried and sobbed, and I said, "Just please forgive me. I wish I could have done better. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry." However many years, 7 years later, you know, he's my sassy gay friend. I go to him to check my outfit, to check my style, not to stereotype. He just is this amazing, incredible young man who happens to be gay. So our journey has been exciting and wonderful, and as a lifelong United Methodist, the work that was done in my spirit in such a short period of time, I never could have done that myself. Sure. That was the moving of the Spirit in a way that I just can't even quantify. It's changed my life. It forced me to not drink the Kool-Aid, all right, and figure it out on my own and really decide for myself what my beliefs were, rather than have somebody or some political right, left, whatever, all of those things decide for me. And I struggled, of course.
Sure.
But what I found at the end of the day, that just as Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart and mind and soul and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes.
When you stay in those words, there's the peace.
Yeah.
And that's where I have never stepped out of those words, and I've never had a day without peace since then. And we're having a ball.
Where was it on your spiritual radar up to that point?
Oh, great question. I had a theoretical acceptance of homosexuality. Okay. Everybody was welcome in our home. Sure. Doesn't matter, gay, straight, black, white, all of that stuff. You're welcome. Everyone's welcome. And so that's why I refer to it as a theoretical opinion about homosexuality. And what I said in my earlier presentations to different organizations, I would say, until it hits you in your living room, you really don't get a vote. Because when that love factor is involved, it changes everything. You can hate somebody that you don't know, whether it's for the right or the wrong reasons. Hate is never good. But when you love that person and the reality changes, you got to ask yourself some serious questions.
Absolutely.
So that's where that was on my radar.
Yeah. What was as you now find yourself here today, okay, where you are today, to love your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor and such things. And this journey of many, many years has brought you to that point. Was there a moment that you remember that your heart was strangely warmed, that you really saw that you got it? I mean, was there a light bulb moment, or was it more of a process to getting to that revelation, to that understanding that what I thought here is not at all the way the Spirit wants me to think here? Was it a light bulb moment? Was it just the movie? Was it the wrestling? What was it?
Well, I think I would compare it to you have a door, and you open it. It was both. Okay. You open the door and you see this incredible garden, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. You see your world was black and white, and now, pardon the pun, a rainbow. And you see all these amazing colors, and that's your initial aha moment. And then you walk through the garden and you see, there's this wonderful thing and that wonderful thing. And to me, it has just been, there was a watershed moment. Clearly, it was the movie. It was looking into my son's eyes and really realizing if somebody had treated me the way I treated him, who loved me, who I trusted.
Yes.
It took me a long time to get over that. In fact, I still struggle with that.
Okay.
But then as life has gone on and I've helped other people to figure this thing out, that's why I'm here today. Okay? Because, like I said, I don't want there to be gay people and straight people, or trans people and bi people. I want people. That's how God sees us. And that's why tonight's theme for this service is We Are All the Light. Because as what I called myself as a conservative Christian, having to wrestle with this, I believe that my purpose on this earth is to fix this problem, or at least to be a part of the solution. And that's what tonight is about. We have to get folks to understand that this chasm can be filled. It can be closed. You don't have to be gay or faith-based. They're not mutually exclusive, and that's what tonight is about.
Absolutely. Tonight's going to be a blessing, and we thank you for your work in this worship service and for your journey of many years, because it will certainly, and has been, a blessing to me and many, many people. So thank you so much.
And it's going to go on and on.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Friends, thank you so much for joining us, and may God bless you, and may your day truly be a blessing to others. Thank you.
To say is that I'm a lifelong Presbyterian. I was raised by, my father says that our family has been Scottish and Presbyterian all the way back to Jesus. And whenever I didn't really understand how the world worked, I'd go and say, Dad, why is this happening? And he'd say, it's a mystery. But one of the things he said to me very early in this sort of trying to figure out how the world worked was, people who are homophobic just don't know how many gay people they know. And I wasn't homophobic, but I didn't know how many gay people I knew either, because I didn't know how you could tell by looking. And 40 years later, I still don't know how you can tell by looking, but it's okay. So talking about my journey is a complicated one, because it was usually my doing something stupid or experiencing something I didn't understand, and then somebody would explain it to me and I would go, oh, right. It never, for example, crossed my mind that there was a problem with people who love each other marrying each other until I was in parish ministry in New Jersey in the 1990s, and it was pointed out to me that no, people who love each other had to be, presumably, cis and straight and in a heterosexual relationship to get married. Well, all right, so you don't have to get married. Well, no, that's a problem, because it affects everything in terms of property and survivorship and making decisions when people are in hospitals and on and on and on. And I can tell stories forever. It was in 2010 that one of my closest friends discovered she had leukemia. And she was going through very, very aggressive chemotherapy and so forth, and it became very clear that she might not survive. And she said, Kimberly, I'm not going to ask you to do my wedding because it's still not legal in the Presbyterian Church to do that, but will you be one of my witnesses? And she and her partner of 25 years got married in the hospital room with all of her IVs and everything else hooked up. And that was when I started to get that part of it. And then, I thought, well, okay, so where I stand, I can't just be okay with everybody being whoever they are, because I'm in a position to offer people something that matters, which is acceptance from the inside and shelter from the inside. So that's what I've always kind of tried to do, is to be a voice and a speaker from somebody who is what the world calls normal and at the center of things. And sometimes I do it well and sometimes I do it badly. But the goal is never about me. It's to make a place like this and a place like Binghamton and a place like the United States safe for everybody to do and be what they need to do and be. And we have some fun with it. Last year, about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, as a matter of fact, I did a wedding for two members of my congregation, Greg Patinka and David Rustin, whom probably most of you know. And when I went to the council, I said, look, I'm not going to ask your permission to do this because I know it's not legal in our church yet. So I'm telling you I'm doing it and I'm asking for your blessing. And everybody who was there voted to bless what we were doing and in fact to approve it. And one lady wasn't there. And the next meeting, I got into the meeting and she was there like this. She said, I understand that you're going to do this wedding. Yes. And I understand that the session voted to let you do that and to bless your efforts. Yes. She was, what, 86?
Yeah, she's old.
I just want you to know that I think it's great. My son is gay. And I realized that you can't tell by looking on your side of this. In the beginning, God created Adam, a being in God's image, formed from the